This is Dad Mentality. I am Rodney Glover. I'm your host. So we're going to tell you a little bit about ourselves. So that's all. You'll definitely learn more about us as this podcast goes on. I'm grateful that I'm excited about it. I'm excited about what we're getting ready to get into and what we're going to start. The thing is, I've been blessed with a lot of friends that all are great men and dads. But I found that we don't talk to each other enough.
There is a difference between being a good man and being good at being a man.
He was about all these motorcycles, all these cars, everything I can think of,
I wouldn't change a thing. Like some things you look at, be like, wow. But honestly, man, I wouldn't change it. We experience, and those things, ultimately make us who we are. That's what I believe. Like.
Hello. It's your boy, the Beast One, aka also known as Rodney Glover, joining y'all this week from Dad Mentality Podcast. I'm glad to see y'all here. And as y'all know, I don't do it by myself. So we got our greatest and new host that we got joining us this week. He's joined us for this season, I'm sorry. And he's definitely been a great add-on to the family and the vibe, man. And also, he's also a great guy to hang around with. Go check out his clothing store. We hung out with him this week at the clothing store. Got to check out. My wife took a lot of that banana pudding ice cream. I'm not even sure she paid for all of it. I think she was sneaking into the little ice cream thing when he wasn't looking. But, my man, Matty Ice, used to be Cold Crypto. What's up, dog?
What's good, man? Appreciate that, man. Yeah, definitely enjoyed y'all coming through. It was like surprise to see y'all to come through, man. But we had a good time, man. Appreciate being here. Yeah, feeling good.
All right. No, and I always got my man with me. We've been hanging out since we was 4 years old. Never would have thought. We would have told each other when we was 17, doing the most stupidest things you can imagine in life, that one day we'd have a podcast about being great dads and changing the mentality of people. We would have laughed you out of your socks. But it's my man, aka Vance Robs, aka Coach. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing good, man. How y'all doing this week?
Awesome. What's good, Coach?
Hanging in there.
Doing good. We do gotta announce. We gotta give a little shout out. You know what? I'll let him do it during his Twitch mental health check-in. We're gonna jump into that right now. So we're gonna go ahead. I'll go ahead and start with Matt because I want him to go ahead and make the announcement that he's celebrating something today. He still came and hung out with us. Go ahead, Matt.
Oh, what's good? Yeah, I'm feeling good today, man. I want to say, I'm still not all the way where I want to be, man. Like, I'm trying to be at a 10 or above on a weekly basis, but I'm not there. But I'm gonna say I'm definitely better than where I was last week. Last week I was at 6.5, 7. I'm sitting at an 8 this week, 8.5. Man, just feeling good, celebrating my 19th anniversary with my beautiful wife. So I'll probably be a little high. Yeah, but she wasn't feeling too good this weekend, so we just chilled out around the house, man. Do what we do, man. Cook dinner for her, did some little things. Just making sure she feeling good and comfortable, just because she was little, not feeling her best this weekend. But overall, man, everything is good. So I'm about at an 8, 8.5, man. Just happy to, for my family to be here, man, for us to be living 19 years under the same roof together, man, and looking forward to our 20th next year. So yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm kind of disappointed though, because Vance, you do remember that when we had the wives on here, that she was saying he was her knight in shining armor and
something like that.
Fantasy dreams come true and all this other kind of stuff, man. You supposed to No, you're supposed to be like on a hot water balloon. Now, what is it? The
Hot air
water,
balloon.
Dreams
hot
do
air
come. I
balloon,
quote:
throwing
"Dreams do come
flowers.
true.
Yeah,
Hey,
Dreams do
hey,
come
yeah,
but
true."
I'm
Is
yeah.
what
saying,
a
but you
boy
gotta
said.
you gotta factor in what you know, man, what her fairy tale is. You know what I mean? Every woman got a different fairy tale. You know what I mean? So, you know, we keep it 100, keep it real around here. You know what I mean? So, long as I'm, you know, we doing us and she happy. I say, what you want to do? I be
Yeah.
spontaneous and get surprises, but hey, why I gotta guess? Let me know what you feel like doing. What
That's
you
because
want me to
Rodney.
do.
You must not listen to a year ago. Rodney don't believe in
Let me
getting what
yeah.
he want to do all this special surprise and
I
figure
do.
things out and
Mm-hmm.
all that. So
Hey,
that's
I
why he
do
dog
too.
me on
I
Like
that.
do.
I do that too,
So
but
hard, son.
I do it in the small ways. Like you decide all that, but then I might
My
show up with something that was unexpected. You know what I
the,
mean? I creep
the,
out in the morning and bring some flowers home that she wasn't expecting. So I do. So you do the small things, but then the other things, let her choose the bigger things. Where you want to go, what you want to do. So I ain't even gotta think about that. But then I just sneak some other little jabs in there, and she's like, "Oh, shit, you so thoughtful." You know what I mean? So, yeah.
you gotta remember,
Mhm.
hey Vance, you gotta remember for my 20th wedding anniversary that nobody can top. I dressed up like Prince, sung Purple Rain, and
He
gave her a
did.
ring.
Oh shit! See, I ain't doing.
Yeah, you know what I'm
I'm not
saying? I
dressing
go
up.
hard. I go
Hey
hard in the
man,
paint.
shit. Hey,
Vance was
that's
there
what's
to
up.
witness that. It's probably a recording
Yeah, he
somewhere.
was
Hey,
singing and everything.
I get there one day, but I ain't dressing up like Prince, bro. I'm sorry, but she don't really fuck with Prince, so I might have to dress up like Luther Vandross or something. You know what I mean?
No.
There you go. I can see you doing a good Luther. I can see that. All right, I'm gonna go ahead
Dress
and
up
go
like
next for
Luther,
my mental
buddy.
health
Fuck with y'all.
check-in. This week I'm a little bit higher than last week. I think last week I was at a 7.5. I put myself at about an 8.5. It's been a very emotional week this week. It was my mother's birthday. If you don't know, my mother passed away in 2017. And every year I have a birthday for her. I wasn't planning on doing anything big this year. And I tried to keep it low key but a lot of people already knew. So my niece and them was like, "Oh, it's grandma's birthday coming up. What you doing? This, that, and the other." I was like, "Oh, I ain't doing nothing. I'll make a little bit of hamburgers and hot dogs or something like that." And I just told my niece, and I was like, I'm keeping it low key and low key. And I thought I was going to keep it low key, but my niece did not. And I literally had 15 kids running through my house because I got a bounce house and everything. And I brought out the bounce house, man. I'm talking about even neighbors' kids came over there and was playing. And you know what? I sat there after a moment, and I mean, they ate up all my hamburgers and hot dogs. I didn't make a lot, but I sat there for a moment and just reflected on, like, this is what my mother would have wanted. This is what my mother's love was about. It was about family and people coming together no matter what. And this is like, a part of this is a side of my family that is not really close to me. This would be my brother's baby mother's side of the family. And they showed up, and I mean, they just showed up just because she said it was also my little niece's birthday, and she didn't have a birthday party, and I was like, okay, well, I'll pull out the bounce house. You can come over here, have fun with a few of the kids, and it turned out everybody showed up. Like I said, it was like 15 kids, and I mean, I had a ball uh, watching them run around and play, and like I said, it just brought back the memory of my mom. My mom was a great woman who took care of a lot of kids that weren't even hers. So, it just made me feel a little certain way about it. I missed my mom on one side, and then I was happy that, it felt like what she's instilled in me is going on. So shout out to moms.
Hmm.
That's where I was at.
Definitely.
What about you,
Yes.
Vance?
Over the last week, I mean, it's been pretty good. You know what I mean? I'm getting back into, you know what I'm saying, my normal routine, you know what I'm saying, I'm working out again. So, you know what I mean? cycling again, you know what I'm saying, which is a good thing. Work hasn't been all that stressful. So, you know what I mean? The fam and everybody been pretty straight. I haven't had any really major hiccups, you know what I'm saying, in life, you know what I'm saying, starting to kind of prep for what we talked about last week, graduation with the baby boy, you know what I mean? Starting to fill out applications for school and helping him decide which way he want to go, you know what I mean? And so forth. So, I mean, I think if I had to rate last week, I was probably about an 8. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have many lows. Me and Courtney kind of started asking each other, you know what I'm saying? Like we did well, I saw a video and I showed Courtney. Every day that we come home or we link up in the afternoon, we ask each other what percentage we're on as far as showing love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I seen that video.
Yeah, so we kind of started that last week, and it's funny because you know what I'm saying, you do fluctuate based on your day, but if you just ask that simple question, you know what I'm saying, what percentage you're on, it kind of raises your spirits because it's kind of like, all right, this is what really matters.
It check you.
It checks you.
It bring you into the now.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was just having a similar thought like that. Like it bring you into the now because they ask you like, well, why am I really feeling like this?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because sometimes we just so deep in our thoughts and that feeling is there, but that's because you subconsciously just thinking. You ain't even now. So that's tight.
I like so that helped out a lot on a lot of days, man. So just another tool for the toolkit, you know what I mean, in marriage. So
hey, in marriage and life, I like that, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you gotta ask yourself throughout the day. You know what I mean? Sometimes you feel yourself not feeling like you know you should be, and sometimes you don't even really know why.
Yeah,
you just drifted off and thought about something. So now you was up here at a, you know what I mean, 8, 9, 10 for the day. Then now you done thought about some bullshit and it kind of bring you down a couple notches. But then once you're aware of it, you get it back in track so that you can continue to feel good and vibrate at a higher level throughout the day.
Oh yeah, no doubt. So yeah, I'm at a solid 8, man. So that's where I'm at.
All right. So even in the wintertime, you're gonna be riding the winter too?
Yeah, I mean, I ride outdoors, you know what I'm saying? As long as it's like I can hover 50 and above, I can kind of hack it. I mean, I got Peloton too. So, you know what I'm saying? Worst kind of worst. You know what I'm saying? I jump on a Peloton and roll with that one. But, you know what I'm saying? If it's 50 degrees or higher, I'm pretty good at least getting 1 to 2 rides a week. You know what I'm saying? Anything below 50, dog, like nose start running, eyes start watering. You know what I'm saying? Can't see. Then, you know what I'm saying? It's also like the fall season is a little bit more dangerous because leaves are wet. It's slippery.
Leaves can be like ice.
And they don't dry out, even though the road may be dry. You know what I'm saying? They stay on the shoulder, road's not clean. Plus, you're gonna go slower just because wind conditions and all that other stuff. And it get dark sooner, so you ain't gonna go as far unless you like riding at night, which I'm not real keen on that. I mean, I've done a bunch of night rides, but I gotta be grouped.
Everybody gotta be a group or you
30. Like I do not like riding solo at night. You know what I mean? So I'll keep going probably through November. I mean, then catch a couple days in December that's warm. You know what I'm saying? Just keep an eye on the weather and go out. So, but I got winter gear, so yeah, it don't really bother me.
All right, fellas. Well, we're gonna go into this week's topics. We're gonna go ahead and start with Matt in the Matt's Technology Corner. You know, he'll teach us something new. Talk about anything but Bitcoin because I'm still watching that go down. So we're gonna go ahead and
fluctuate, man. It's been in the pocket, man. It's been in the pocket. Yeah. Hey, but kind of speaking on that, like it's actually a company that and it's, I guess you would call them in the technology space now, but I was looking at Meta, Facebook, and looking at some things that they're doing. So you talk about stocks and stuff, like, you know, that could be maybe, I don't know, let me tell you about the product, though, why I'm kind of liking what Meta was going to do, because gotta change, because I was a little down on Meta last year when they was talking about the whole metaverse and the way they was going into it. I didn't like it, you know what I mean? But I think they had to go down that road to end up where they at today, because I look at the new they have some glasses that's coming out. There's some I guess AR, augmented reality glasses that's gonna take AI and different things in them. But they look like some regular shades, man, and they partner with Ray-Ban. So the joint's kind of slick, you know what I mean? Something that you can wear on every day. Look like the glasses you got on, you know what I mean? But they got a camera on them, and they're going to allow you to, like, content creators and just different people to be able to live stream directly from their glasses. You're gonna be able to switch from the app to your glasses, tell your glasses to do certain things. Then they're going to enable AI into it, where it's going to be able to see what you're looking at. So if you're looking at a sign that's in a different language or something like that, it'll be able to translate the sign for you just straight off the glasses, like basically what you're looking at. And like just other features that just seem like so useful for content creators. You cooking, you doing something, you riding a bike, motorcycle, you can go live straight from your glass. You ain't worried about a GoPro, you ain't worried about that. Like, it's your glasses recording. But then I'm like, I love all of that side of it.
Well, hold on, I got a quick question. So how much are these glasses? And
$299.
when are they supposed to come out?
$199, they're $200. And they're coming out this year. And then when they first come out, you're not going to be able to live stream from them just yet. You're going to be able to take pictures, record video, and do some other
my nephew might already got them joint.
And then
I think Amazon has a pair of Alexa-enabled glasses.
Yeah, and they got the Quest coming out. They supposed to be upgrading that. So I was watching their I guess the keynote speech this week, and watching some other stuff just from some of the stuff that I think they're rolling out. And just because how much of the market share Facebook and Amazon already has, I just think something like these glasses are going to, because you're already using the product, and then the glasses, man, they only they $200 versus a $500,000 type product. And I think content creators are going to use it, because where you streaming at, a lot of people try and go live on Instagram, Facebook. That's Instagram still doing their thing, but then they also going to be able to do other platforms too. He said he opened it up now, so it's not just for Facebook. You know what I mean? He thinks social media should be more interoperable. But I like all of that. But then what you think about the other side of the sphere, though, when people are walking around with cameras on their face? Like, it's one thing like how we got the social media, but you got to pull that phone out and record. But let's say, for instance, it does catch on, and you got 100 million people walking around with glasses that are constantly recording. Like, you having a conversation with somebody, like, people gonna make their whole life a vlog. So you have to be like, hey, are you recording, man? Like, I need it. Like, you never know. Like, it's gonna be different. Somebody got their phone in your face, but you might not know if somebody recording or what's going on with these glasses everywhere, man. It's gonna be like, I look at it's gonna be crazy. Like, people gonna be think shit get caught on camera now, and you don't even gotta pull your phone out, but the glasses is right there.
All you have to say is start recording and shit.
Record.
And shit. All you gotta do is tap your glasses in.
Yeah, because we was talking about that the other day. People, you say somebody was running away from some shit that was going on, and while they running away, Rod, you said they had the phone behind them recording, but now it's gonna be like people literally don't even have to pull the phone out. Like, it's just is there. You know what I mean?
So two things. Like, the first thing, I think we're getting used to being cautious about what we do, because everybody does record, right? You know what I mean? And
everything records now.
Everything is recorded. Yeah, so it changed. Yeah. I think our behaviors already started to change just based on, that. Now, you got a valid point that you may or may not know somebody with glasses on is recording, because like I was telling you guys earlier, my nephew had a pair of glasses I didn't even know they were capable of doing what what they were doing, but he could
Yeah,
snap pictures, he
Ray-Ban
could
had
record.
something like that before.
Yeah,
They
and
said it was
he
on
could do all of it.
Amazon has it Alexa enabled one that you can do all that shit too. You can take
Yeah,
pictures.
so I think that it's definitely going to impact us on how our behaviors are with each other. And, you know, everybody be pulling stuff out when stuff go wrong, right? You know what I mean? So now it's kind of like, all right, people may start recording some of the good things or good acts, which they do every now and then, but a lot of people are recording either fights or interactions with the police or whatever else.
It's gonna make it easier for the common person to be like, hey, what's good? Showing their artwork, maybe showing them doing whatever.
Yeah, it definitely, I think it will be a tool, you know what I'm saying, to generate some income for some folk.
That's what I said. It's that's what I said. It's gonna be a tool, and the tool could be used in so many different ways,
or negative,
ways. Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it's gonna it's gonna be a tool. People will be
the
able
other the other thing I want y'all to
content, create money from that product. Like, watch, it's gonna be
a lot of baby mamas catching the fathers or something, doing something wrong.
So from that aspect, yeah, definitely. Do you think, like, moving, like, before we move out of this, like, do you think that's going to translate into maybe a good price to maybe buy if he was looking to buy Meta stock? Do you think when these glasses come out and then they integrate it with your cell phone so you can answer your cell phone, they was talked about that, you can answer your cell phone and shit straight from your glasses, because the glasses got like 6 speakers, like surround sound and microphones on it too. So not only is it catching video, it's catching some sound. So they were like, you're gonna be able to not even have to answer your phone.
So you saying, do I think that's the next big the next thing that could change the market for Meta
and just kind of how we operate? Like,
I think it'll change how we operate.
Yeah, if these glasses catch on that much though.
Yeah, I don't know that it's going to change. It's the next. I don't think it's going to take Meta from 1 trillion or 1 billion to 2 billion. Like, I don't think it's going to change their profit line in that manner. But I think AI is more likely to do that than just the tool of the glasses. But my second point that I had, have y'all seen Radio Player One?
Yeah,
definitely.
That is where it's going towards.
Yeah, and that's why
I was thinking more. I was going to ask you more about have you
augmented
seen
reality?
What is the name of that? It's not Fall Guy, or it's called The Guy or something like that. It was with the one where he was just a regular character in like a GTA world, and he had the glasses, and when you put the glasses on,
he worked at a little store or something.
He worked at a bank in this joint. It was just called, I think it was just called The Guy, and he was just or a guy or something like that, and he was just basically he was basically one of the characters that actually got a conscious and started realizing what was going on, and then became a player opposed to just a regular NPC. I think it's called an NPC. Yeah. And but he had the glasses where until he put on the glasses, he couldn't see all the action that was going on around him, as far as like bonuses, get money, do this and that. So my question to you is, are these glasses going to change what you see, or they're just going to be able, like, for instance, when you say AI, is it going to be able to, like, if you can say pull up YouTube, will you be able to watch YouTube through the glasses? Is what I'm trying to say. Is it something like is that what it's going to be able to do?
That's where we're going. It's going to be able to display images in
the glasses.
Yeah, so you'll be able to, so you won't even need to pick up your phone.
Okay, see, the Amazon joints don't do that. I know that. Yeah. All right, I was just curious. I was like, all right, so yeah, that's going. I think the shit. For $200, I'm gonna buy it.
I think if it translates into a virtual reality world, then that's when Meta stops.
Yeah, but they got both, and you need both, because like they say the new Quest glass is about to change the game, and that's virtual reality. But when you're in there, you're disconnected from the, you know what I mean? Because you can't
real
see.
world.
But with these augmented reality glasses, you can walk into a room and they say it's going to be holograms projected instead of like billboard advertisements. And you'll be able to see shit.
See the holograms.
If you got the glasses on.
Yeah, see
like
that.
The same
So
way
that's
Rodney was
translating
saying.
into the virtual
Yeah,
reality.
Like that, you got to watch that little keynote that he was doing in this other joint. I was like, man, if they do that, they already got billions of people using their product. People like seamlessness and stuff that's easy. And then if he allows it to be seamless with other networks, because why couldn't they be like as big as Apple if they able to switch into this next genre? Because I think we're leaving the hardware segment. You know what I mean? Like even video games, you download video games now, you don't have the disc.
Yeah.
So let's think about our phones and computers. I think we may be closer to leaving from where you got a physical device in your hand than we really think. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, when you got a physical device in your hand, like you may have this physical device as your phone could still be the processor that's nearby, but as far as how you interact with it won't be directly through the phone anymore. Like
I can see that.
Just like Apple Watch, just like Apple Watches and watches now are already starting that trend.
Exactly,
now,
but it's about
glasses will take it to a whole nother level. Yeah.
Right in your eye. And that's what crazy. I think Meta could maybe jump ahead of everybody and be those glasses could be what the iPhone is when the iPhone blew up. Like we kind of in another decade or like another time period where what's the next thing? Because Apple changed the smartphone game. But now what's next after the smartphone? It's gonna be something next after the smartphone. And I'm not saying these glasses are it, but I was like, hold up, man. Like if they pull that off, they about to take the phone out your hand.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm buying it. I'm telling you right now, I'm a buy.
Yeah, that definitely I definitely understand that.
I'm looking at where the stock is now because it's already down to where it could go if this product does jump off the way the iPhone did. You know what I mean? Because Meta already got a huge market share. They just need, like, everybody's on fake Instagram. They got WhatsApp. They add one more thing. They got, you know what I mean? They got the threads now. Twitter falling off. X, you know what I mean? So they might can snatch up a huge market share. And that's why I think they're doing something right now. So be on the lookout for Meta, you know what I mean? Just from a product standpoint. And they handle entertainment, man. They got movies on there. They got video games coming to Meta. Like Meta trying to do something. And I think in the future, just the last point, that it's only going to be a couple big companies. It's going to be Amazon. They're going to be around. Then I think you may have a company like Meta, and then maybe Microsoft, and then a few other companies. But these huge, it's going to be huge. Yeah, it's gonna be huge media conglomerates now. Like they getting into everything, you know what I mean? But we moving out of the hardware age. The hardware is getting smaller and smaller, and now it's gonna be in the air. The same way CDs turned into digital. Now our hardware and the way that we view it is gonna turn into the air. Like it's like, if that makes sense. Like you're not even gonna need your phone to read a text message no more. Like they've been doing it in movies for years.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm excited. Shoot, I can't wait. That joint come out, I'm gonna be the first person buying it. I promise.
Minority Report, all them type of joints. Like I think we close to that.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Yeah. I'll be looking out for them glasses for real. But Vance, so you up next? Ooh,
yeah, man. I mean,
you get prescriptions in them too. I wonder if you can get prescriptions in those glasses.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they'll be able to funnel that somehow. Yeah, the prescription is just the lens, right? So I mean,
But
if they can,
the lens going to show. The lens got to show.
It's
Show
gonna
you
have a
stuff
slight.
too.
It's probably gonna have some type of projector that projected in the lens.
yeah,
It's not gonna be cheap, but it's probably gonna be something that's just gonna reflect and kind of.
yeah, it's just.
Keep
I
the
mean,
picture on the
yeah,
lens.
that's what your eye is. Your eye refraction. So they're gonna be able to. They'll be able to program that in there to where you know what I'm saying. You'll be able to see clearly and see all the images they want. I mean, so like just based on you know what I'm saying what Matt said. I mean, one topic I wanted to talk about is pretty much what we spend our money on. It's a trend that I think is the African American community. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing to me how the African American community will get behind some of these products that we're talking about now, but won't get behind some of the products that we own as a community, right? You know what I mean? We are quick to jump out there and go get the newest iPhone. iPhone 15 comes out. Everybody jumps in line. Jordans come out. Everybody jumps in line and gets Jordans. You know what I'm saying? Hey, one thing that I found amazing: Teslas come out. Everybody jumps in line and wants to get a Tesla as a Black community. And I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the middle class community, the people that can afford things and so forth. Why is it that we spend our money outside of our community? Why don't we jump in line to go to Matt's store? Why don't we jump in line to go make the next Black designer, you know what I'm saying, the next biggest Tommy Hilfiger or Polo or whoever else? What is stopping us from reinvesting back into our community? The one thing that I want to ask you guys is, why do you guys feel that the reason we do this is because we're trying to keep up with the Joneses? Do you feel that we just, because we never had, because it's something that was a generational thing, that now we have it so we can afford exactly what the other communities can afford? Or is it just not willing to understand how economics works and how building each other up? Let's talk. One thing I want to say. Go ahead.
Nah, I got. Well, I think it's. I was going to say, but I want to hear the last thing you got to say. Go ahead.
I want to say this. Think about this. Meta, who we just talked about, the Black community built Meta.
Oh yeah, 100%. Facebook
by investing our money in
by
the
investing
Facebook,
our content.
And our content
I mean,
into Meta.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? And then we go back and ask for paybacks from Meta. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we built it. You know what I'm saying? Our content made it. And then they give us pennies on the dollar for what we built them.
Yeah.
But none of that's new. But none of that's new. It's the same.
Yeah.
Hold on. It's the same thing when we talked about music, when we talk about, our culture. I mean, it's the same thing in those aspects. So to go back to the original question, though, why do we not spend money in our community? I do feel that it has become in the last since COVID. I really feel that investing in the Black community really had a burst. I'm out here in DC in restaurants. Black restaurants became very successful during COVID because it was more of a point to make sure we supported each other because we were all going through something at the same time. Everybody was going through it, and it became a point that, and this is just how I feel, that I can just talk for myself. I learned so much more about our community. I bought Black paintings. I went out and supported local people who dealt artwork and T-shirts. Even on the show, I wore that shirt. Remember the one of all the fathers that was a Black painter. You know what I'm saying? That he had all the fathers he grew up with because he didn't have a father, and it was all celebrity, Dr. Phil, the Huxtables, and all that. So I kind of feel that it did explode. I feel that there's a few reasons that we still spend a lot of money, and that is one you brought up, is that we are now, a lot of us came from lower income circumstances, where we didn't have the money. We didn't always get what we wanted. We had to either really work hard for it or whatever, or get lucky, or wait for Christmas, or wait for your birthday. You know what I'm saying? Now that you got money, you in your, let's say, middle class, you can say, if I want it now. I can go get it now. I ain't gotta wait. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gotta be my birthday. I ain't gotta work hard. I've already done that. It's in my account. So I want it. You know what? I want the new car. You know what I'm saying? I want that Tesla. I want the new, the new Jordans. Because I used to have to beg and work hard to get them. Now I can afford them. So I want them. So I'm gonna get them. So I kind of feel that it's and then that kind of stuff is always in your face. Unfortunately, a lot of the Black businesses are not directly in our face like it is as far as Jordans and all this stuff, because we have to look for it. I have to look for a Black restaurant to go visit and patronize that's new, because I'm not going to see a Black restaurant Olive Garden commercial. I'm not going to see this on the radio. You don't hear it as much. You know,
it's convenient. It's the branding.
It's the branding.
And it's a lot more convenient. Like sometimes to be able to go to some of those other places, like sometimes you do have to make it an effort sometimes to get to, Black restaurants. Now, it may not be in your neighborhood. It may not be as convenient. It may not be this. You don't even know about it. But so you go to the Olive Gardens, you go to the fast food. They in the neighborhood. It's recognizable. Like you already know what you want to get. I don't want to get this and keep it moving.
Already know the menu.
Yeah.
You already, because it's been programmed into you, right? You know what I mean? So we gotta. I think as a Black community, we need to, kind of deprogram. I think our kids are getting a little bit better. My wife is excellent in finding, all Black owned stuff, right? And I think that we need to, since we're using Meta, since we're using all this, I think as a community, we need to put out those Black restaurants. Because, I say that, and this is not a negative on us, but I say 10 years ago or whatever, remember there was a whole thing, oh, well, the service isn't the same. You know what I mean? Or, everybody wants a deal. You know what I mean? Black business want Black deals because I'm Black. You know what I mean? And some people weren't willing to pay the actual pricing that was out there in some of our Black owned businesses, right? But let's take it a little bit further. Let's talk about banking, like banking with Black banks. You know what I mean? Because there are Black owned banks doing financial deals with Black owned companies. See, we think about just the standard restaurants, the stores like Matt, the shops, that are, new businesses and so forth. But how about taking it a little bit higher and taking it to, hey, I only bank with a Black bank, a Black-owned bank, not Bank of America, but a Black-owned bank. Now, some people would say that's a little shaky, you know what I mean? Because they're not as stable as some of the other banks, and things can go bad and all that stuff. But at some point, in order to change the game, if the community comes together, our money is strong enough to affect any part of this economy. Now, we have to stick together to do it. You know what I mean? And a lot of people that won't do that. But I think all in all, the only way that we actually jump to that next level is to, start reinvesting back in our own stuff and not necessarily supporting every major aspect of Meta. You know what I'm saying? What was that one website we all used to jump on back in the day? And I don't even think that was Black owned. What was it? Black people. Black Planet.
Black Planet.
Black Planet. Yeah, I think that it was like a media website. I don't even know if it was owned by a Black person, to be honest with you. But
doubt it.
I doubt it too. I can't hear you, Matt.
Oh yeah, then of course it was MySpace before Black.
Yeah,
the MySpace, and then of course eventually you got Facebook.
But and what's hilarious, what's amazing is that if it was Black owned, it was all supported by us. Like, we really support and uplift all of these social media companies such as Instagram, and I think the only one we probably don't do is the former president's what's the name social media thing, but all the rest of them, like,
What's
without
that?
us,
What's that one called? I know he got something
I
called
forgot the name
the
of that.
Rumble.
Yeah, some weird. I forgot the name of it. Of it, but
I
I
like
mean,
some of
even
them other
Twitter.
stuff.
Let's be honest. I mean, the owner of Twitter and Tesla. I mean, he ain't one of the greatest dudes out there either. You know what I mean? So some people like him, some people don't. You know what I mean? But we still support him. When are we going to really create our own and actually stop? You know what I'm saying? Building them up and then asking them to pay us for our content.
Yeah, but
right,
it's that. Yeah, that's a deep question, because until somebody like makes something like that, like Facebook, that's like a utility now almost. That's like we're using the internet. You know what I mean? The Facebook is on the internet, but that's like the phone, like how when you was able to call anybody. So everybody uses it. So I know what you say. Like that, it's so big now. Like, not saying
But
we
peep
can't,
game,
but
Facebook was big, and then TikTok came out.
All right, quick two things, real quick. Black Planet was black owned by a guy from Kenya, but he looks white. But he's from Kenya, Nairobi, so I'm assuming he's mixed. But he looks white as hell, but his name is Omar, so I guess I gotta make him black. Says he was an assistant professor at UC Berkeley. So
Really?
he's one of the co-founders of the website.
He went to Berkeley?
Yeah.
Well, shit, yeah, he was connected.
There he was.
So they say he's black, but he look white as hell. So I'm just letting y'all know that. But anyway.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, TikTok came out, and then TikTok blew up. Right?
Yeah, but TikTok is huge, and it got the Chinese. But as far as the amount of users that Facebook got worldwide, like, man, Facebook was on the hill. You know,
there is a black black interface coming out like Facebook. It's coming out. I know Sway has something to do with it. Also the black guy from Snowfall. Not I can't remember exactly which one, but not Snowfall. What was the movie? All American. The show All American. He was one of the guys in that too. I know that him, Sway, and a couple other people are working on one that's supposed to be coming out soon. That's supposed to be a black owned.
Like I've been doing Twitter, different social medias, man. Like for years, like looking at different ones that try to pay you for your content, but they never catch, because it's like, man, Facebook got that first mover advantage, and Instagram, everybody is on there. Like, so YouTube, like, you post a video, you're gonna post it to YouTube. There's other sites out there similar to YouTube, but YouTube is where everybody is. So you gotta go there. You're not going not have a YouTube channel. You not going not have a Facebook for certain stuff, even though there are other platforms, but you still gonna be posting to Facebook. Like, nobody's leaving Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you say. So you're saying it is too far gone?
It's you're gonna have to do something to like create something that's different and far better. Like, if it's the same as Facebook, is not going to do it. That's what I'm saying. Like, somebody will have to create something that changes the game to give you a reason to leave Facebook and Instagram. But if I feel like it has similar product. If you're doing a similar product.
Yeah, if it's black owned, it's a similar product, and it's got the right backing, and you're gonna give the people more money for their content, people will change. It happened in Twitch. It happened in a couple other things. Even though you're a big boy,
That's
a lot of
part
these
it.
people, yeah, more money, but you know, in order to grow, you're gonna have to do that. And a lot of the people who have been doing content on here for so long, they're tired of that. They want other platforms. They want something new that they can. It's just like, you know, if you're gonna start your own league and you can talk somebody who's top in Facebook to come and give you a try and switch to you,
But they gonna have to
then
do
they're gonna
deals
bring their
because
followers too.
exactly what I said though is I agree. But even if that other platform comes out, they're still going to post on YouTube right now. The only way, if that content creator gets so big and they pull their content from YouTube, then maybe then that other company has a chance. But as long as they're still posting on YouTube, because they still want the YouTube check, they still YouTube has the value. So
They don't
they're
need a
going to be
YouTube
on
check no
they're
more.
going to be on both platforms. That's what I'm saying. So they're going to have to, that other platform will have to make it so lucrative that the person doesn't even post on YouTube.
I look at it. I
think
like
if you had
how they going to take, they're not going to take their content off YouTube. They're not going to not post on YouTube.
So I think that if there was something that was in comparison to YouTube and everything else, right? I believe that if the Black community got behind it, it would damage any of those major platforms.
Yeah, 100%. But all they need is to have the right, like, just for instance, like fucking Deion Sanders is taking over.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's him. He has the right platform, the right blah blah blah. Now all these kids that used to go to Florida State, that used to go to USC, that used to go are now thinking about coming to Colorado or were coming to Jackson State when he was there because he was the right person at the right time, offering them something else that other coaches weren't offering. You know what I'm saying? And that was because he had a platform that these other coaches, and he wasn't getting white athletes, he was getting Black athletes because that is detrimental because we are the league. Like that's what we are. So
yeah, I definitely think it takes. Yeah, I agree. It's going to take a major name, and it's going to take it's going to take a Jay-Z. It's going to take somebody of that caliber to kick it off, right? Or to
no. They need a content creator of that caliber.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Jay-Z of content. They need Mr. Beast to decide to come to this Black company, and that would instantly put them on the map.
He in Facebook pocket. He got an avatar for Meta that's gonna be on their glasses. Like they got Dwayne Wade gonna be an avatar teaching you how to work out, doing things. They like got celebrities like AIs that they Snoop Dogg. So,
but I'm just saying it's going to take a caliber of a top tier person saying, you know, forget Facebook. I'm only going to be on this new to make that thing explode. And I mean, it is possible if they get that person, and then
if they ever get that person or that ever happens.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's going to destroy
things.
A lot of things. I agree.
Facebook would buy that company before it even got
exactly. That's exactly. So
that company would be taken over in that week. As soon as that
you basically saying.
So I understand that that's what happens to the majority of our companies. They get big and they become dangerous, and their money talks.
Yeah.
And it gets them out of the situation.
So would you tell somebody not to sell it? Hey, I'm about to give you $1 billion for this joint you just.
No, I mean
we're gonna squash you anyway, or go ahead and take this billion.
Because unfortunately for us, that is what's going to happen. If we don't sell, then they're going to squash it. Next thing you know, you're going to have all these lawsuits. You're going to have this. You're going to have that. And that's crazy. Unfortunately, that is something that is always happening. To go back to Vance and Banks, I want to go back to that because I wanted to bring that up too. Because I was seriously thinking about switching to a Black bank, and I'm still thinking about it.
I have.
You have already?
Yeah. I'll let you go ahead and finish. I'll give
what bank? I'm curious. And what's your perspective? I want to know it. That's the whole reason why I brought it up.
I was dealing with Industrial Bank for my business account.
How's that worked out for you?
It was
Honestly,
I like it, like as far as depending on how much you need to go there. Let me say that it wasn't as convenient.
convenience.
Yeah, it wasn't as convenient, and their technology wasn't up to par to Navy Federal and Bank of
Yeah.
America and other banks like mobile apps that I'm used to dealing with.
They still mom and popping.
Yeah, that was, but you know, they do get like if you like to go to the branch and you want that type of service where you go into the bank and you know your banker, and that may be good depending on if you're doing different type of deals and you want to be face to face. That's gonna be that type of bank. But I just needed, account for my online stuff and for my printing company and stuff. So I wasn't going to the bank. I just needed to.
Yeah, they wasn't
move
ready
money
for that.
Yeah, move money around and just, but their online banking didn't do it. But
Got
what I
it.
mean, like I don't think there was an unsafe bank, but it was, and it's not that many of them around. You know what I mean? So when you do gotta go, you gotta
go.
It's only like 3 branches in the area. You know what I'm saying? 3. You know what I mean? So if you're not around one of those banks, yeah.
Do y'all know if I thought Trust Bank is a black-owned bank?
I thought
You
it
know what
was too.
Trust? You talking about?
Yeah, it's called Trust. It's like
not the new joint,
spelled
the
correctly,
joint that
Trust,
not new,
yeah.
but just you start saying Truist.
Truist, that's it. I think that's it.
That's news to me. If that's a black bank, I did not think that was a black.
I didn't
look
either.
it up now.
Nah, true.
Is it Truist or Trust?
Yeah, a Truist is the
It's
one
Truist.
that just started popping up. Like I
That's
said,
the online
yeah.
one, right?
But
it was big online at first.
I see them. I see their branches. I start seeing their branches pop up.
Yeah, it's one right down the street of the.
They took over PNCs. I want to say they took over PNC and something else.
I'm trying to look here. It says more open.
Yeah, it may be, but I didn't think so.
Anyway, that's something we'll come back to because that's who I was looking at. I could have swore that I heard that.
Hey, I'm saying there are other black-owned banks. I wish we knew about this topic because there's a new black-owned bank, and a lot of them are online banks.
I'll bring it next week. I'll do the research and bring it. I
know Killer Mike down in Atlanta. He partnered up with some people and got a online bank. And then there's these other 2 banks that partnered up, and they're supposed to have the largest black-owned bank now. I was just looking at it, but I don't have any names. So I don't want to say any names, but there are definitely a lot of black-owned banks, and a lot of them are online. So you don't even have to be in the state they're in if you just going. But they got to have good online services, though. Like if you can't pull up to the bank, their online services got to be great. But that's going back to technology. That's where we moving to. Like, who would have thought you would be trying to bank with a bank that's not even in your state? You know what I mean? That you can't pull up to because, you know what I mean? Like, you see how stuff is changing. You would usually want to be able to pull up to a bank, but I'm like, that shit is like irrelevant almost at this point. Like, I can do everything in the app. Get a new car, do this, call. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even want to have to go into the bank unless I'm, making a cash deposit or, you know what I mean?
Something of that nature, right?
Something like that. But other than that, shit, make a cash deposit at the ATM.
No, I got you. I was just curious. Anyway, all right, let's go and let's get ready to move on and thank you, Vance, for Money Matters. I definitely encourage anybody to buy and support Black-owned, man. I'm telling you, here in Maryland, there's a ton of Black-owned restaurants that these chefs are off the chain, man.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what? Maybe next week I'll do my top 10 Black-owned restaurants and
I had the banks for you next week too.
Yeah. We'll talk about it. Let's talk about it. Maybe we'll do a we'll do a Black-owned show. How about that?
That'd be a great topic.
Hey, we can get some of the people from Precise, man, the shopping center and everything. So we're gonna put that to the side. We're gonna make that happen though. I like that idea. All right, so fellas, I sent all of y'all a video this week. So I told people we were gonna be talking about it this week, and that's Kurt Franklin's fatherhood. So it's a 2-hour actual documentary he has. I sent y'all the 35-minute kind of all condensed version of the story. But for me personally, it was hard hitting. There was a lot of things in it that I understood where he was coming from, what he was saying. I do want to say this. Before I watched this video, I was not a Kirk Franklin fan at all. I was not even like he had a couple songs I liked, but other than that, I never knew his story, and I knew he had a big thing with his son and all kinds of stuff, and that kind of turned me off to him. But once I heard the story, it kind of really brought it to life for me, and then it brought back some things in my own personal life that I want to talk about. But for y'all, I just want to ask, my first question is, what did y'all think when y'all watched it? Matt, go first. Don't mind.
Oh, when I watched it, I always knew who Kirk Franklin was. Never was a Kirk Franklin gospel fan, like, back in the day. But I know he's been around, one of the biggest, gospel artists around. But when I saw the show, I was like just seeing what he had to go through. Didn't know he was adopted, like, you know what I mean? Somebody older was adopted, he didn't have siblings. So it was some little things, and then he was into the church, and just to find out that he thought he knew who his father was, but that person passed. And then, so I can just imagine that, you know what I mean? And it did bring me another light to Kurt Franklin, look at him through different eyes and what people may have to go through, man, like as far as with their fathers and not knowing who their father was, could be, finding out that they were somebody who they thought they wasn't. And yeah, so he was dealing with a lot of emotions, you know what I'm saying? And so that probably play into why he may have had a certain type of relationship with his sons, you know what I mean? Because of what he went through, you know what I mean? So it all plays out into the person who we are, who we become, who we becoming, you know what I mean? So it's, but just, it was all right, you know what I mean? I wouldn't have never probably watched it if this wasn't the topic or something to see me, man. But like some of that stuff, I'd be like, it definitely make you think though, you know what I mean? Some of it could be a little depressing sometimes, like, damn. So sometimes I don't even, like watching certain things like that. You know what I mean? That it get me out the mood, something like that you want to be in. Like, dang, that's some wild shit, man. Like, dang, mad. Sorry they had to go through that. You know what I mean? But yeah.
What about you, Vance?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's eye opening to who he was, and it's amazing who he became. Right? You know what I mean? Because I mean, considering that there was one statement he made that he didn't even want to go home. He wanted to just stay at school, right? Because he didn't have a family at home. You know what I mean? And I think the whole thing with his father and him talking about some of the strongholds that his biological mother even still had on him about his father. I mean, at one point, I think there was proof that this particular individual was his biological dad. And his mom was like, "There's no way."
Yeah, she's still denying the shit.
And it was amazing him just talking about, like, even though I got the proof, this lady still had certain strongholds and influences on me from when I was young. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then he talked about therapy, and he talked about a couple other things, but it shows how influential your parents can be on you, whether they're there or not. Right? You know what I mean? Because he talked about the in and outs, how he saw them sporadically, and then the older lady that he was with, who was a relative, you know what I'm saying, how much love he really got from her, you know what I'm saying, her being older. But the one thing I can say is that somebody is still churching,
Yeah.
right? So, and I think that that is what has gotten him to where he is now. You know what I mean? So, but it does definitely open your eyes to if that is who if he didn't have a father or male figure that was a father type, how would he even know how to be a father,
There you
right?
go.
When he was
Absolutely.
older. So it did shed some light on some of the other interactions that he may have or may not have with his own son or child or I'm not sure how many kids he got, but um it definitely shows the impact of his youth and how he is as an adult, you know what I'm saying, towards, you know what I'm saying, his own children. So
Yeah, one of the biggest things that he said on the show, and it's something that I've always looked at and lived by, and it is the knowledge of hurt people hurt people. You
mhm.
know what I'm saying? And when he
Mm.
and even when he said it, kind of broke it down a little bit more. That when you hear that, you think hurt people, go out and hurt people, and that's not necessarily true. A hurt person can be so hurt or so broken that they don't know how to heal. The
Mhm.
only thing they know how to do is hurt because that's all they experience. And sometimes you got to
Mm.
look at that. And that's one of the things that I've installed in my kids and in my family. I was like, you got to look at the bigger picture. Like, why is this person doing this? Why is this person? And then and then sometimes you realize that they don't know anything of it. The
Yeah.
only thing they know how to do is hurt. Like, I don't,
Well, heart
and
could
I'm
just
just
be to
speculating.
be negative. Like not necessarily like
Yeah.
just being a negative. Like that's all they know is to think negative. They can't get themselves to think no further than that. And that hurts, I mean, people who they around, especially if they got an influence on the people who they around. So yeah.
And
That's
so the biggest thing I want to talk about, there's a few things I want to talk about this whole topic, and I want this to be a join-in session, even though this is a segment, but this is like our after topic talk too, where I want y'all to jump in because I'm gonna just throw a few things out there, like quotes that was on there, quotes, things that he said, and see what y'all think about it. Because this was, and let me tell my quick the point I also wanted to throw out there about this, the thing that I felt him because, like, I don't know, y'all know, my father died when I was 11 years old, and for when I was 11 to I think how I think I was about 18. I always thought he was coming back, and I always was looking for him to come back because I didn't when he died, I didn't really understand death, and I was like, I just saw him, like I literally saw my dad an hour ago, and you're telling me he's dead, and I'm like, nah, I don't believe it, and till I got 18. So a lot of things that he said, a lot of things that I had to work through in therapy. So for me, I kind of wrote down a couple things that he said. He said, because I never knew who I was always the most insecure person in the room. And he said in another part of the conversation where every time he came off a stage, he used to ask his wife, how'd he do? And before she got married, she just thought thought he was just acting, wanted the praise or whatever. But then she realizes that he's really that's how insecure he is because he never had a person. He never had a dad to tell him he did a good job. He never had a mom to tell him, and so he's always searching for that approval. And I feel like that is not just a Kirk Franklin issue. That was an issue for me. I feel like that is an issue that especially a lot of black men at our age range have, because a lot of times our father wasn't always there because he had to work all the time, or he was there, or whatever case may be, and you always wanted that approval from your parent. And we kind of grew up in that age where it was like you like, you know, if you're gonna cry, I'm gonna give you something to cry for type of parenting, where it was kind of hard. It was a lot more harder. It's not definitely, you know, not as soft as parenting is now. And I'm just curious to you guys to think, you know, is that something you ever felt like in your life or you felt in your childhood that you, because I purposely fed into my children to make sure they didn't feel that way. So I'm just curious to y'all if that was something that y'all felt or understand what I'm saying in this.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. I think everybody's case is different, especially when it comes to approval, and being hurt. You know what I mean? Like, there's been times where, you know what I'm saying, I'm looking for approval. But I also think like my father never looked for approval, right? So um it's a double-edged sword in a sense, because we were brought up to not worry about other people's opinions and so forth. But deep down inside, you want to be congratulated, you want to be appreciated, and you want to be approved, right? But we're always told that um that, you know what I'm saying, hey, you be satisfied with who you are, you know what I'm saying, and don't expect nobody to congratulate you on nothing. Keep pushing forward. Because I mean, and that's how we were raised. You know what I mean? So I see how he was impacted searching for approval. And I think a lot of people, I think a lot of kids today still search for approval. I think that's why they look for the social media. That's why they look to impress the next person. I think approval is a key asset, a key aspect of life. I don't know if it's approval or appreciation.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
because I agree though, but because I think it's human nature for groups. When you are living in a group or living amongst people, that you look for a little bit of approval or appreciation, but it comes in different levels though. Some people need it more than others, but what I mean, as long as we live in community and society, it's gonna be some level of, what I mean, improvement that you want from your peers and amongst your peers and different things like that. And then I think we all want to, be appreciated at certain times, what I mean, not, just for different things, just at certain times, everybody likes a little bit of appreciation, but, so I guess him looking from that or never was able to receive that, it steered him in a certain direction. So I can definitely understand it, because I felt those pressures. You know what I mean? We can all say, "Oh, you don't care what nobody thinks," but you care what somebody think. Whether it's your parents, whether you trying to live up to a certain standard for your kids, like, you know what I mean. So it
Or
is
even your wife.
Yeah, your wife. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's gonna be. There's always going to be that, level where you want acceptance for what you do. So.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I just wanted to see how y'all felt about that.
Mhm.
The other thing, another quote was on there: "Love is a muscle. You must exercise it." And in his aspect, he was talking about his mother, that his mother never knew how, she never exercised, she never worked on love, she never showed him that love. And because she never showed him that, he never developed he never developed the love. Because, he said that he can't, how can somebody love you and leave you, and never come and see you, never call you. And even at the end of the show, his mom left again. He just wanted, all he wanted was for her. He knew the facts, but all she had to do was say, you know what? I made a mistake. You know what I'm saying? That's it. It's simple. And she refused to do it. And that still left another void in it. So when somebody says that quote, when I say to you, love is a muscle, you must exercise it. What do y'all, how do you feel about that? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta practice it. right? You got to practice giving it and practice receiving it. It goes both ways.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, some people
So
don't even know what love is. Sometimes
yeah,
love
there you go. That's what.
is a maybe a just comfort because you used to being in a certain situation or around a certain thing or something. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean. So I do agree. You gotta.
Or somebody thinks something else is love. That
Yeah,
they something else they confuse. They don't even know what love is. That they think something else is love. You know, you hear that. You know, he beat me because he loved me. Even though I don't think
yeah,
nowadays anybody thinks that's true. But that was actually something that somebody had said. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? He
Nah, that's what
talks to
I'm
me like
talking
that. He
about.
treats me like that. So I just kind of got out, thought about that a little bit because some people don't know what love like. They've never experienced. They've never worked on it. They've never tried it. They never had it. They never accepted. So, it's just something to kind of think about. Something that I thought about when I was watching it. So the other joint is I don't think he said it on that. This might have been a different interview, but he said you have to learn to run and win wounded. A lot of people wait until they feel like they're like, oh, once I get healed, or once this, that, and the other, once I get to this point, or once I become this, then I'll go and do what it is that I said I was going to do. And his point was, nah, you got to learn how to run and win, even when you're wounded. You can't wait until you've had healing, because sometimes you're never going to get it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you're never going to have that, whatever it is you're waiting for. Like, I'm waiting, like he could say, I'm not going to do this until my mother apologizes. Well, in that, because that hurts me. But guess what? Your mother may never apologize, man. You can't stay there and not win just because you're expecting somebody else to do right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just, that's what I kind of got out of it. I don't know if y'all had anything that you think about that, or
Yeah, I mean, you can't. I
I
agree with
agree.
it. I agree 100% because, like, if you wait to move on something, like it may not never happen. Like you
Yeah,
you gotta internally, you know what I'm saying, do your own self evaluation, and you gotta continue to push forward. Because if you're expecting to get pleasure from well, not pleasure, gratification from humans, you ain't gonna get that. You know what I'm saying? May or may not come.
yeah. Because you only can control yourself. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And what you're going to do. So if you're waiting for somebody else to change, like you might be, like you said, waiting for a long time because you can't control what they can do, but you can't control how you choose to feel about that situation, how you choose to allow it to affect you. So once you're aware, I say that's the first step, that you got to be aware that you are in control, how you maybe can choose to feel about this situation or this person feeling a certain type of way or their viewpoint, and why do you need their acceptance, you know what I mean? And just go down that road. And I think once you kind of realize it in a way you can deal with it, you know what I mean, better. You know what I mean? If you kind of look at it like that, you can't make nobody do nothing. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Yeah.
all right. Well, so lastly, anyway, so after I watched this whole thing, I had to call my brother. If y'all remember, my brother was here for the Father's Day episode, and he kind of, after my dad died, he was the person that raised me. And one of the things we got that I told in that story that day was that my brother had a different relationship with my father. My brother was the oldest of all of us, and his relationship with my father was very uh my father was young when he had him, so it was a very confrontational relationship. And by the time I came around 15 years later, my dad was, a different person. um by the time I was 5, he was, he was stopped drinking. I think a little bit later than that. He might have drunk every once in a while, but he definitely wasn't drinking as much as he used to. And then he ended up going to church and then finding God and doing that in the last few years of his life. But he wasn't the same person, and they actually reconciled uh, shortly right before he died. But even once he died, my brother never treated me anything less than being his son, and he accepted me. He didn't take his pain that he had with my father and put it out on me. He showed me nothing but love. And I always appreciated I appreciated him for that. So after I watched it, I had to call him and thank him for not being evil and not taking on those traits and not, like I said, hurt people and not doing that and doing the opposite. And I just feel like his story relates to a lot of people, not just, in the same aspect of him just finding out who his real father is, but just, you know, a lot of kids, a lot of children go out here and they may not know their fathers, or their fathers may not be there, or whatever the case may be. And there's a lot of people that are finding out that their father isn't who they thought he was. And I just feel like it was just something good, as here dad mentality. We always talk about fatherhood, just talk about all the aspects of being a father, and even him making mistakes and going back to his son at the end of it, and trying to, wanting to rekindle that relationship, even though it was something that he felt was bad, at the time. But that changed everything. Just to finding out that little bit of information gave him another hold, that he wanted to get his son, he wanted to get B back in his son's life. So, it's always a win at the end of it. And I still feel like I believe that we all go through something so that we all can have a testimony and help somebody else in our future. I always feel that I'm here for someone else, not for myself. So that's just something I'm just throwing out here. Maybe because I stopped drinking myself and haven't been I'm getting all emotional and in touch with my feelings and shit. But I'm working on it. It's a good thing. I thought it was a good thing to share with you fellas, and something we can talk about. So we're gonna go ahead and move off of that topic and go to the even more depressing topic of our fantasy football picks.
Y'all ain't listen to me, so I don't want to hear nobody.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
First of all, you lost ever since you told us Love was going to be the best quarterback in the NFL and all this other kind of stuff, and then his ass bombed.
Yeah, he did.
So you don't got nothing new to tell us. We don't agree with you. We got every right not to.
I don't even know about those picks last week, boy.
Yeah, I think we hit one.
Yeah, Slim, them joints was rough.
Which one what did we hit?
Hold on. I'll tell you.
Jets versus Denver? Is that what we had last week?
Nah, we lost that one. I think we all had Denver.
I know we lost the Bears and the Redskins. How about that?
Yeah, y'all lost that. I told y'all not to pick the Redskins.
Man, you had the Skins.
I did have the Skins, but that's because it was 2 out of 3, so I had to go with the group. You know what I mean?
That's what you going with?
Yeah. Like I text y'all in the middle of the game, tried to talk some trash to get them going, and they ain't get going this time.
Yeah, man.
That joint was depressing, dog.
Beyond depressing. Bruh, like Buffalo.
Yeah,
Buffalo joint. The Buffalo joint. I wasn't that surprised, but
I think the only one we got was probably, I think, San Francisco, Dallas.
We had that.
Oh, ain't even picked that one. I think we talked about it.
We talked about it. He didn't want it.
Second, I gotta put the account.
He picked up Cincy, the Rams versus the Eagles. Y'all picked the Rams. And Denver versus the Jets, so we picked Denver.
Yeah.
All I gotta say is we were all wrong at some point.
Yeah, that was a rough week right there. I ain't even gonna fake it. Like, I was looking at them joint, some of the scores of the game. I was like, come on.
How about
Okay.
this, dog? I had a 6-game parlay that I picked in the 6th game that the New England Patriots, the Saints would have a defensive touchdown in there. My $20 was going to make me $900, and I hit all 5 except for one, which
What
was
was that?
the Baltimore Ravens and in Pittsburgh game. I picked Baltimore. I was
Dang.
sick, son. Sick.
Yeah.
But let's see.
Yeah, this was a wild weekend for last weekend, man. Like, ain't I don't know. Guess the season's still shaping up, man, because I'm looking at it like,
all right. So the only one
gonna
we
be
hit
good
was
this
Cincinnati and Arizona. We missed the Commanders, Chicago, the Bills, Jacksonville. Cincinnati, Arizona was the one we hit. We missed the Philadelphia Eagles, Rams, and the Jets and Broncos. Missed that too. So those were all the games we missed. But anyway.
Yeah, now looking back, those were some
All
ugly
right.
games too.
Yeah, I made it as easy as I could possibly make it last week.
Hey,
It
I
still
don't know
ain't
about
what
that.
it done.
We missed 4 out of 5. How you make
4
it
out
easy?
of 5. Made it as easy as we possibly could make it. Need to stick to.
That's because there's no guarantees, man. That these games, man.
Man,
Like,
they don't script it, dog.
Yeah, ain't no rhyme or reason to some of these joints. You look at it like, I don't even think it's scripted no more. I think it's week by week. They look at, they got a AI algorithm that look at all the bets across the league, and then that algorithm say what games need to win, what need to happen, who need to have this many yards to make sure the NFL in Vegas is profitable. Like it's all the cahoots. Like, come on, they got an AI algorithm that's reading every bet that's made. Like, okay.
I'm gonna pick all the easy
week,
games this week.
All easy. All right.
All easy.
Let's go.
Oh,
all right, where we going first?
Denver at the Chiefs. Denver plus 10.5, by the way.
We're gonna take the Chiefs.
All right.
The Chiefs on that.
We take the Chiefs on that one. All right. That was that.
San Francisco at Cleveland. San Francisco.
They look good, but I'm scared they're gonna come off this.
No. San Francisco is good, bro. By the way.
I know. I'm messing. All right, so San Francisco.
Yeah, I want to go San Francisco, but that's one of them joints that
It is San Fran minus 4.5, by the way.
Yeah, we ain't picking.
We're going San Fran.
I'm gonna say San Fran, but I wouldn't be surprised if something.
Washington at Atlanta.
Man, come on.
That ain't easy.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all the ones that want to keep the home team on here.
Yeah,
that was what I was. That was the damn losing. Now we can talk about some other games on here. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, y'all the one want to keep the whole team on here.
I'm gonna go with
All right,
Washington.
we'll come back to Washington.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that.
We'll come back to that.
Miami at Carolina. Carolina at Miami. Carolina plus 13.5, bro. They say Miami gonna beat by 2 tugs.
So then we taking Miami.
We taking Miami.
I take Miami, but I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm messing around. Like, if we was picking points, I'd probably take. That's a lot of points in Miami. I don't know.
Hold on.
Miami been scoring.
Here we go.
I got 70
even easier. Buffalo at Buffalo. New York at Buffalo. New York plus 14.5.
I ain't gonna make no money on this bet.
You not, but you go, but you gonna win. As soon as you put Washington in there, you gonna lose anyway.
I'm gonna go with Buffalo. For the straight
Buffalo
money,
too.
for the straight money line, but that's a lot of points. I don't usually take like that many points. I go on the other side.
Back to Washington, Atlanta, because that's what's gonna make a break, Rodney. I say Atlanta.
I'm looking at this Eagles game. Number 5.
Eagles.
I'm trying to make some money. Eagles over the Jets.
All right, go ahead.
Nah, I'm looking. We can agree as a census. Whatever y'all want to do, man. I'm just trying to win.
I mean, y'all the ones what
We got to get like a winning streak going. We got to get a winning streak going.
Then go Eagles over the Jets because they're gonna beat the Jets.
All right, so that's what we want to do. We making this. we got to get a dub in here. We just need one win. That's it.
My man out here trying to get a dub. Then we
gonna get one guaranteed win for this for the show, man. Right now,
dog, I'm telling you right now,
out here hurting.
If one of these 14-point spread joint.
I'm trying to tell you, man. I what was the one of them joints I told you? I don't know. They like to play these games.
You said it was Cleveland, San Fran.
Yeah, they looking at these joints, man. They got an AI algorithm, man. They taking all these bets. They looking at all the bets, and they trying to see where they gonna make the most money at.
This bet will only make me $36. $20. I'm only gonna make $36.
Damn, on a 5 leg, shit.
Yeah, on 5 legs. They like this gun is
you
terrible.
taking all the
funny thing is they still go if everything go wrong, they still gonna take you $20.
Yeah, that's the bullshit.
The bet is getting placed.
Shit, that's why that shit.
Okay, I need us to get a win, so I'm gonna go ahead and place this. I ain't gonna mess with it. I ain't gonna argue about it. Just get anything on the positive side.
Yeah. 20 for 36.
Yeah, I feel like
shit. That's rough. I don't like them miles.
Man, still $60 to the profit, bro.
Yeah, let's get the profit.
No. It's 36. It's 20 plus, so I'm gonna get 50. 56 would it be? 56 would be what I'll come back, But it'll be 30. So it's 36 to the profit.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I'm just telling you how much I'll make off the bet. I ain't nothing, but yeah, I got some bets going on tonight. My boy gave me
right
some.
Now? What's who on?
Vance's boy. Vance's boy playing right now against the Raiders.
Who Love?
Yeah,
Love.
Green Bay Raiders.
Yeah.
Okay.
He ain't done nothing. He done nothing yet.
Shit, man. Let me this joint we I'm about to say I want to see what we're gonna do this week though. I want to see what we're gonna do this week on here. I wish we had play. I think the Commanders or the Skins would have won if we'd have played on Sunday instead of Thursday.
Whatever.
That's here nor there. Nah, yeah. It's here nor there.
Y'all better stop betting on them. They're gonna lose this week. They're gonna lose to Atlanta.
Well, anyway, fellas, we're gonna go ahead and end the show here, man. It was another good week. Thank you for hanging out this week, man. I can't wait. We definitely gonna do a black owned business episode. I like that. We'll talk about that and figure that out.
Sure.
For everybody, you can catch us on all platforms. Dad_mentality. You can catch us on YouTube. You can catch us on Instagram, Facebook. You can catch us on all your listening platforms, the Google Podcast and Apple Podcasts. So Spotify, we on all those. So, check us out. Make sure you share, you like, tell your friends, tell your mamas, tell everybody, man. But this is Beast One, Coach, and Matty Ice, Dad Mentality. God bless and good night.